questions. Let's begin with Mike Singer. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Michael. Two questions. A, do you have a update on Nikola? And B, he played 37 minutes in game two. Was they just the type of thing that became an issue after the fact?
Yeah, I think he got hit early in the game. It was sore during the game, but Nikola, I think, as he's shown time and time again, very tough, very high pain tolerance, was able to get through the game. As far as his status for tonight, I believe he's still questionable. He'll go through his pregame warm-up. They'll get with him, see how it's moving, how it's feeling, and then make a determination at that time. So still questionable right now.
All right, I have no hands at the moment. Any questions? We'll go to Rod Mackey here. Rod, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just real quick. This team, I think people outside of Colorado were surprised at the way you bounced back. But this is something we've seen with this team really year in and year out. It's not just this season. Can you just talk to the character of – I know you guys never get too far down, but, boy, nobody seems to bounce back like this Denver Nuggets club.
Yeah, well, we don't really care what anybody thinks about us, especially outside of Colorado. It's the belief that we have in our locker room, and I would agree. I think it's been there since day one. Very resilient group, a group that believes in one another, and we've been here before. No one gives this team a chance to do a lot of things, but somehow, some way, we find a way to stay alive, to advance. And I'm sure most people wrote us off last round, being down 3-1. I'm sure most people had us getting swept after a disappointing game one loss, but it's only one game. We're not, too excited. It was a great win for us, but we know what we're in for tonight. It's going to be a hell of a challenge. These guys, the Clippers, are going to come out very, very aggressive, so we have to be ready for that and match that. But yes, mentally tough, physically tough, and resilient. A group that somehow, some way, finds a way to rely on one another to go out there and get the job done.
All right, next we'll go to Chris Haynes, who is there. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, due to guys arriving into the bubble late with your team and Will Barton being out as well, you kind of had to shuffle lineups around and kind of use personnel that you didn't use throughout the regular season. Do you know what you got with this group yet? Do you know the potential that you have with this group yet, or are you still finding out on the fly?
No, I think by now, I think we have a pretty good idea. I think during the scrimmages, during the seeding games, we had a chance to see guys like Bol play, who had never had a chance to play the whole season. So that was a great opportunity to really see and evaluate who he is as a player, what he can do, what his strengths and what his weaknesses are, and how we can help him develop into the best player that he can be. But now that we're here, we've played 9 playoff games already, and we're playing mostly guys that have been with us. They understand us. Michael Porter, obviously, is for a rookie, is doing a great job for us in these playoffs. I think those 7 seeding games that he played allowed him to get into a really good rhythm, and obviously the numbers speak for themselves. A guy like P.J. Dozier, who was converted from a two-way to a roster player, he's helped us. He helped us win Game 5 against Utah with the defense that he played. So I feel pretty confident with the group that we're using and going with right now. And we still have a lot of work ahead of us, obviously.
All right, next we'll go to Chris Dempsey. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Lou Williams has been inefficient, let's say, in this first couple of games of this series. What's been the key to you guys slowing him down a little bit?
Yeah, Lou is always a threat. Obviously, he's tremendous, one of the greatest bench scorers in NBA history. So you probably just jinxed it for us. Thanks a lot, Chris Dempsey. But we know what he's capable of. And he's missed shots that he usually makes. So we can't sit here and take credit for all their misses. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be, just unfair. They missed some shots in game 2 that they usually make. But we did play much better defense in that game, and we took more pride in that end of the floor. But we know that when Luke comes into the game, you have to defend him into the game. He's a scorer, so you can't let him get into a rhythm. So trying to take away his airspace, trying to be up in pick and rolls. I think the most important thing is you have to defend him without fouling. and we've done a pretty good job of that. He is a master at drawing fouls, especially when he's shooting jump shots and three-point shots. So if you can keep Lou Williams off the foul line, you're going to give yourself a chance to try to contain him and not allow him to have one of those Lou Williams types of games where he can go up for 30 points off the bench.
All right, we have time for one more here, and we will end with TJ McBride. TJ, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. After Game 7 against Utah, you said that you had faith that Gary Harris's offensive game was going to come back in the second series you guys are now playing. What gave you that confidence? What did you see in the time that he was able to practice with you guys that gave you the confidence that he was going to turn that corner offensively?
Yeah, it wasn't even just, down here. It's 5 years. I mean, I believe in players. I stay with players. And I know everybody back home, wants to cast Gary Harris off the Nuggets island. I'm not going to do that. I believe in that kid. He's helped us win a lot of games. He's been an integral part of our team that, when I took over, had won 30 games, to a team that won back-to-back division championships and back-to-back getting out of the first round. And we don't do that without Gary Harris. So I believe in him. He's been putting the time in, putting the work in. So I knew it was just a matter of time where he would get his feet under him, get his, game conditioning in, and get that confidence back. And, the reality is this. In Game 2, as well as we played, they were making a run in that fourth quarter. If Gary Harris doesn't step up and make 3 huge threes, that game gets really tight, and you don't know what's going to happen in those situations. So Gary afforded us the opportunity to create and maintain that separation. And the hope is that he can go out there and do it at an even higher level tonight.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.